Hey Fragrance family, I'm Daver.
I'm Jer.
And we're the Fragrance Bros. Yeah. Come at you again with another fragrance review, this time on Dior Homme.
Yes.
And we should also mention we're basing this on the original formulation and not the reformulation, which really doesn't make much of a difference from everything I've read. There's not much of a difference in smell, just a minor difference in performance. Anyway, date introduced is 2005. It's classified as a woody floral musk. Notes are lavender, sage, bergamot, iris, amber, cacao, cardamom, patchouli, leather, and Tahitian vetiver.
Nailed it.
Almost.
Saw you squint a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Hard to see in these lights.
Yes.
And what did you get out of longevity out of this?
I get excellent longevity in this fragrance. Yeah. You know, 10, 12 hours, it's great.
Yeah, me too. Excellent longevity. Just really hangs on there. Really like it a lot.
Yes.
What about projection?
You know, I think it straddles average to excellent. I don't think it gets crazy out there like DHI does, which makes sense. Should be that way, I suppose.
No.
Yeah, average to excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's average on me as well.
Okay.
Season, I would say this is Vivaldi!
Vivaldi!
All 4 seasons, anytime. And day or night. I think you can wear this just about any time of year.
Totes.
This is really great.
Y'all.
Purpose, I would say this is really any occasion, too. I think this is great as formal. It works great work, date, and casual, too. I think this is just great anytime. And what does this remind you of?
Well, we have reviewed Dior Homme Intense.
Yes.
So there's going to be, you know, some overlap here. I know it's, let's just go ahead and say it, the lipstick bag, the makeup bag, lipstick bag, makeup bag, you know. All right, we get it. It does come off that way, waxy. It's a lot, you know, it's iris heavy, right? Which I love about this fragrance. I love it.
Yeah.
What this fragrance reminds me of is just class, metrosexual class. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, to me, it's not rugged in any kind of way. It's softer and it's more understated. But man, I mean, you want to talk about just having an air of like superiority and achievement and success. It just really conveys a lot of positive, what I would say, a lot of positive masculine qualities, despite the fact that it's not the most masculine fragrance. Yeah. And in comparison to Dior Homme Intense, it's more reserved. It's not as loud. It's not quite as thick either. It's a little more transparent, but those two together, even though one's just an intense version of the other, they really do different things. Yeah. And it should be used in different ways. This is, to me, this is like, I think it could work in any setting, like you said. I think casual is the least appropriate setting for this fragrance to me. Okay. I think that this is perfect for formal. I mean, just like this is, and not because it's, you know, it's not weird like a lot of toys. It's just great for like a suit. Yeah. And great for work. I mean, if you work in a large office, I think this is, and you know, you wear like a shirt and tie to work, man, this would be my jam right here if I did that. Yeah. It's great.
Now, Dior Homme is no slouch in the community. It has a lot of reviews. A lot of people love it. And for good reason, but I do think it's outshined a lot by Dior Homme Intense, by his younger brother. But I think personally this is leagues ahead of Dior Homme Intense. Yeah. I like Dior Homme Intense a good bit, but this is really, there's more going on in this than in DHI. I think that DHI is simpler, it's stronger, and like you said, I think it has a little bit limited application, but I mean, it does what it does really well. Yeah. What you get here is you get a lot of iris, which is orris root, I guess you would say. It's not the flower, it's the root. So you get that really really thick iris. You know, you do kind of get a lipstick thing, but we'll go into that later. Yeah. But you get iris, and you get it just perfectly blended with leather and amber and patchouli. I mean, it is perfect. Yes. And all the things else, all the other notes in there, they kind of are in there, but they're just kind of in the background. But this fragrance is the pinnacle of the perfect blend. To me, I think this is just absolute perfection. The way this is blended is amazing. What more can you say? It really is.
Keep going.
Really, really great.
Keep going, man. Okay. More superlatives. Keep going. Bring them.
To me, what makes this even better than Dior Homme Intense is Dior Homme Intense has kind of that ambrette in there, which I think kind of ruins it a little bit. And then this has the leather and patchouli, which just slays. It just slays in there. It just kills it. It's so good. I do think this is on the feminine side of masculine, but I do think this is still heavily couched in the masculine genre.
Yeah.
I don't think this is overly feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And if I were to actually think of a woman wearing this, I don't know if it would come off as well as it does on a man, just because it has those notes like the patchouli, like the leather that really evoke more of a masculine edge on this.
Yeah.
Now let's get to some of the objections real quick. Let's go lipstick.
Yeah.
Okay, it smells like lipstick, smells like a makeup bag. I get that. But what I think that the lipstick reference is kind of almost like a backstory, kind of an innuendo of sorts, kind of like, someone like lipstick on you, like someone's been kissing you or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mysterious sexiness type of vibe that I really like.
Yeah.
The other thing is that it's overly feminine. I don't really get feminine, other than it's just kind of a softer masculine fragrance.
There are different shades of masculinity.
Yeah.
It comes in different forms. And to criticize, I've heard a lot of people say, it just smells like lipstick as a criticism. You can't just that may be true, because I think it does kind of smell like that.
Yeah.
But you can't just call out a defining characteristic of a fragrance and then just say, well, that's all there is to it. Yeah, it does, but you still need to understand what this fragrance is doing.
Yeah.
There are some hallmark fragrances, some things that have really been trendsetters and have changed the game for men's fragrances. I'm thinking about things like Amen, like Lodi Say, right? Some of these fragrances that went away from the traditional masculine scent, stayed masculine, but did something new and took it in a new direction and really changed the game a little bit. And this, to me, deserves a place up with those. Like Lodi Say, florals, yes, but masculine florals.
Yep.
Amen, yeah, patchouli and all these kind of like, other kind of maybe feminine notes, but still masculine.
Yep.
This, iris, but still masculine. Just not butch masculine.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Right.
You ain't always got to be smelling like vetiver and cedar. You know what I mean? Sometimes
that's right.
You want to lighten it up a little bit. This is amazing. It's a fantastic fragrance.
Now another criticism that it gets is that it smells like an old lady.
What?
Or
people say that?
Grandmother. Yeah.
F that. Jeez.
Now let me say this. I don't think it doesn't smell dated enough. It doesn't smell feminine enough to smell like an old lady. That said, it does remind me of my grandmother.
But a lot of things have done that before.
A lot of things have, but because anytime there is vanilla and patchouli in a fragrance, it reminds me of my grandmother's perfume. So a lot of fragrances have those notes in there, so that kind of evokes that. But to me, it doesn't smell like an old lady, but it reminds me of the warm memories I have of my grandmother in Boston. She's still alive, but it just reminds me. It just reminds me of my grandmother.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
So it's like a Ventus reminds us of our dads.
Right.
Doesn't smell like my dad.
Right.
It just reminds me of our dad.
That's right.
So this is that same type of thing.
Very good.
Bang for buck, this is $70 for 100 ml on FragranceNet. I mean, that's an amazing value. I think that's really good for what you're getting, and especially for a fragrance that can be a dumb reach.
It can be.
It can be a good Swiss Army knife, and to me, I think it's just a wonderful fragrance.
Yeah.
I think it's well worth it.
Yeah. Actually, you have my bottle. Like I sold my bottle of Dior Homme to you, and I've noticed that since doing that, I still have DHI. That I don't wear DHI hardly at all, because it's much more limited in its scope. When I try to wear it, I think, no, this isn't quite right to wear to the office. This isn't quite right to wear here and there. Whereas I could have used Dior Homme in any of those situations.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about rebuying it from somewhere, just because it's such a clean, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good, and you can use it so many different ways. Like it. I don't know. This is just a fantastic fragrance.
Yeah.
Very unique, and I will agree with you and say it's better than Dior Homme Intense.
Yeah.
On the whole.
Yeah. Exactly.
DHI does one thing better than it.
Right.
But just the one thing. It's a jack of all trades.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And what about compliments?
I've gotten a few. In my office setting, I don't think people know how to receive this. I don't think this doesn't quite work in my sphere of influence. Stephanie thinks it's okay. She's never been a big fan of either of the fragrances, DH or DHI. She prefers much more masculine stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I still love it. I don't give a crap. It's great.
my wife, she actually really likes it. It actually reminds her of one of her favorite hair products, which is funny because it kind of brings a childhood memory of using those hair products when she was younger, which, hey, I'll roll that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
So I like it because she likes it as well. Other than that, I don't really get a ton of compliments from it, but I think people generally do like it.
Yeah.
And also too, I think it's one of those things where if I were to wear a suit with this, then I think it would alter the perception of this fragrance some, and I would probably get more notices.
Yeah.
But because I don't wear a suit hardly at all, I think it smells different because of the perception.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Final rating.
I'm going to give Dior Homme a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
I mean, I can't levy a criticism against it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it does smell a little bit like makeup, it still smells great.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, right.
It smells great. Tons of application. Good performance. I love this fragrance. Miss it, probably going to rebuy it.
Yeah.
5 out of 5.
Yeah. I'm also going to give this a 5 out of 5.
Oh my God. That's great.
There's only like 2 or 3 other fragrances that we've done that have perfect 10s.
Yes.
Welcome to the Perfect 10 Club. I'm just joking. I can't take Mark's credit.
Does he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this is absolute perfection. It's an amazing fragrance and one of my favorite fragrances of all time.
Boom.
I'll always have it in my collection.
Boom.
So that's all I have to say. That's all we have to say about this fragrance. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of Dior Homme. Dan, my knickers.
Let it all out, man.
Let it all out. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. We'll see you next week with another fragrance review. We're the Fragrance Brothers. Bye.
All right, guys.